Well, hello everyone, it's Carissa at Small and Scrappy, and I've been promising this for ages, but I'm finally back with another process video. This is one I made a few months ago actually, using a cut file from Pretty My Page. You can see it there, it's the ballet point shoes. And I'm using that cut file to help me document one of my dance shows that I did as a teenager. My class's ballet routine that year was to the song Rotterdam or Anywhere by the Beautiful South. And I'd been meaning to document this photo for a while, and I discovered that Pretty My Page do pre-cut cut files, so these were absolutely perfect, and I got them in a small order with a few other things from them as well. So I've actually cut quite a bit out here where I was trying to figure out which way round I wanted to put the shoes, etc. You might see that I've got a sort of sketch on my phone that I keep referring to. Um, right now, however, I'm thinking how I want to colour the shoes because I decided I wanted to use I think that's the positive of the cut file. I'm never sure which way round it is, but I did want it to be coloured. So I was trying to work out whether I wanted to paint that or be really ambitious and emboss it. So I'm just doing a bit of a tester on the back of the cut file. And I did really love the look of the embossing powder. It was, I think, a Zing embossing powder that I got in a Mind the Scrap kit around the same time or a few months before. I really loved the look of that, but I just thought, can I be bothered to emboss that entire cut file? And what state is it going to be in when I'm finished? So instead, I just took some paint and yeah, sponged it on, so it was a nice pale sort of ballet pink. Not true to ballet shoe colour. Anyone who does ballet will know they're not actually really pink. They're more of a creamy. Well, they're slightly pink, but they're not like a pink like that. Anyway, so I'm just doing that to colour the shoes, and you can see I've left the ribbons slightly paler because, again, normal ballet shoes, the ribbons are a slightly different colour. Okay, and I'm just coming back now to stick it down. I've decided the way round I want it. I don't think I've actually used my ATG gun since I filmed this video, which is a good few months actually, because you might be able to see there, even then I'm having a little bit of trouble with it, and it kept sticking to itself inside, and there wasn't much left of the roll, so I just kind of gave up with it. I probably should have another go with it soon because it costs money and I'm not using it, but hey ho. So yeah, I had a little bit of a scare sticking the cut file down there, stuck down in the wrong place, but I managed to peel it up and redo it. And I'm just sticking a little bit of wet glue under the fiddly skinny bits of the cut file. And just referring to the sketch I've got on my phone again. So I had quite a clear idea for ages, of sort of how I wanted this one because I saw the cut file a little while before I actually bought it, I think. Um, and yeah, I knew I had those houses from, I think it's an old Page Evans collection. I knew I had those sort of townhousey bits lying around that would be perfect because it's the style of buildings you get in the Netherlands, which obviously is where Rotterdam is. Um, I toyed with the idea there of having some ribbon on the layout somewhere. Some of that is actually proper point shoe ribbon, but I don't end up using anything like that. And I'm just going through my alphabets there to figure out which ones I want to use. I knew I wanted at least two different alphas in the title, but I wasn't entirely sure which packs I had that had all the right letters. Constant problem, isn't it? Um, and I've lined up the houses that I've picked. I think that I end up using them in that order. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, just starting to place the alphas, making sure I've got enough of that font for the main part of the title, which is the word Rotterdam. These were the thickers that had the inner and outer fonts, and a lot of people thought they were quite fiddly. I haven't had so much of a problem, but that's probably because I've mainly used the inner font, so but they are quite cool. I can't remember what collection they went with though. They were in a Mind the Scrap kit, I think March or April last year. And then I'm coming on with these tiny alphas. Now, these I know are Heidi Swap ones, and there's gold and tealy glitter ones in the pack. So I'm just filling in the rest of the lyric there. I've sped this bit up quite a lot because you don't need to see me sitting fiddling with tiny letters for ages. It does get quite fiddly. And now I've come in and I'm starting to pick other embellishments that I might want to use. This is the pack from Pink Paisley Wild Child collection, the girly one. I think they had quote unquote boy ones as well. So I'm just going through because I knew I had those two little critters in there with their tutus on that I might want to include. The panda and the penguin there. They're quite adorable. And hey, they're dancing, so why not include them in a dance layout? Okay, what am I doing now? Ah, yes. So I decided there was a little something missing, and I needed something to pick out the color of the cut file a bit more. Obviously, I'd already stuck a few things down, so it was a little bit tricky, but I managed to trim a little bit off the edges so that I could back it onto that pink paper there. And that's just some basic pink generic paper from Hobbycraft, I think. But it's been in my stash for ages. I think I bought a second pack of it because I ran out of all the colours that I was actually using, so I need to make a dent in those really. And I'm just fussy cutting the houses out that I'm going to use there, the little townhouse designs. Like I said, they've been lying around for ages. I knew I wanted to use them as individuals rather than on the remainder of that paper, but I just had been too lazy to cut them before using them, so I was, yeah, just doing the last little bits of that. I did love that collection, the sort of townhousey theme. I used it on quite a few of my layouts with Amsterdam photos as well. Same sort of European townhouse style housing that I imagined to be in Rotterdam as well. And I'm just fiddling around with my placement of a few bits. I don't think I end up using that little speech bubble there that says believe in yourself. I think I do keep the flower though, yeah. And I do bring in some other bits at some point. And that was just me being a little bit fussy again, just defining the edges of the feet in the cut file a bit more. I think I toyed with that flower quite a bit and wasn't sure where to put it because I didn't want to cut too much into the shape of the shoes, but I ended up putting it there and it was fine. I was happy with it. Bringing the doily in there behind where the houses are going to go just for a little bit of extra texture and interest. I think that that white space that was there stood out a little bit more than it should have done, but I'm quite happy with how that turned out with the doily. I did fiddle with these houses quite a bit. I had to make sure they were the right colour order. But I couldn't quite decide what that was, obviously. Then I didn't want the same style of houses next to each other and all that. Although I think I kind of end up doing that with the pink and the blue one there. And back to the bottom and just fiddling with those embellishments and the placement again. I've still got that speech bubble there, but I know I don't end up using it. And I realise I've got to trim down the doily a little bit to actually fit it under the shoes, which have already been stuck down. I swear I did have a plan for this layout. As I said, I had a little sketch on my phone, but you always end up seeing things that you don't quite think of until you've got the layout going in front of you. So I probably should have tested things out a bit more before sticking everything down, but it works out in the end. And you can see I've gone to my my normal double-sided tape there because I got so fed up with my ATG. So, if you are watching this, tell me what you think of it. Have you ever used a cut file before? This was actually my first go using it because I don't have my own cutting machine. Like I say, I ordered this pre-cut from Pretty My Page. I'll try and leave the link below to the website. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Although I didn't do anything too fancy, it wasn't like one I backed or anything. I did enjoy using it, and it adds a little some extra something to the page. And it's just another tool in your scrapping arsenal, really. And like I say, if you're new around here, even if you're one of my handful of not new people, please do like, subscribe if you want to see more from me. I am hoping to put out more this year. I know I say that a lot, but genuinely, I really want to do more creative videos this year. It does rely on me getting myself into gear and actually filming and editing and whatnot when things are still relevant. I'm also going to try and get a new computer this year so that editing isn't a complete pain because my Mac, bless it, it's an old one. It was secondhand from my boyfriend and it's quite slow and sort of touch and go when it comes to editing, which is part of the reason why it takes me so long. But I need to stop using that as an excuse, and I will have more creative videos out this year. I actually have another process already lined up and edited. Again, another one that's been hanging around for months, I think probably close to a year actually, but it's all ready to go. I just need to do the voiceover, so keep an eye out for that if you enjoyed this. And going back to what I'm actually doing, you can see I pulled in a few more 3D embellishments. These are from the Crepe Paper Here and There collection. I think that pinwheel works really well, and also the banner on the left, because it's got swans on it. Although it's not directly relevant, it just made me think of Swan Lake, which is obviously a very famous ballet, so I thought I'd put it on there, and obviously it matches the colour as well. I've got a nice visual triangle with the teal in that, and the building and the flower there. And this is actually where the process video ends. I think my camera died, unfortunately, but you got to see most of it, and here are some stills for you to have a look at and see how it turned out. You can see I've added a few enamel dots. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!